Yes, Jörgen, thank you very much for coming here. Uh, to start this very special interview with you today, we have to know more about you. Where are you from?
Yeah, I am from Groningen, the north part of Holland, and I'm very pleased to be here because I understand you interview a lot of artistic people, so I'm a little bit different, so a little bit different than normal, yeah.
Well, you are born with a genetic problem, the EEC syndrome, and in the medical world, only 300 people are known affected with this syndrome. How did you discover in your life that you have that, and what are your early memories, and how do you feel to be one of a very few affected with this syndrome on this planet?
Yeah, that's a long story. When I was young, I was never aware of what I had. I only know that I was always in the hospital, had a lot of operations, but I never thought there would be people the same like me. And then when I was in my 30s, I went to a genetic department, and then after a lot of research, they find out that I had the EEC.
Okay. Well, the problems you are facing with are next to others a cleft lip and a palate and abnormalities of the hair, the skin, the eyes and the hands. You had many operations, you just told this already, and your eyes do not produce wetness so much. You suffer from ear pain and from heavy headaches, and you are very sensitive to light. Only the daylight is the best for you to orientate well. How are you doing now?
At the moment I'm doing fine. I have been struggling for many years with it, especially the pain, and over the years it went worse, and then now at the moment it's a little bit more bearable, so I'm very happy with it. Even I never know what the day will bring, because today I feel good and tomorrow I feel very bad, so it's a little bit up and down all the time, but at the moment I feel okay.
Okay. Well, 8 years ago your doctors told you your eyes will leave you after maybe 2 more years. But of course this now is 8 years ago. Somehow they were wrong in their idea. How much do you still trust the medical world?
I've been operated and in hospital many times in childhood, since the day I was born, and it never stopped over those 50 years, 51 years. How I have a love and hate relation with the hospital and the doctor. Sometimes I need them on one side, on the other side I'm very aware of their, they bring me pain. I don't know if that's the right word to say. I call them always Dr. Evil, the people in the white suit. A little bit love relation. But do I trust them? Yeah, I have to. Although I look for other possibilities, maybe we can talk about it later, for alternative to have less pain and to make it bearable for during the day.
Okay, but can you tell me how you got stronger in your life, even knowing you are affected with the EEC syndrome, and even knowing that you could lose your eyes forever in any moment? I know you are very sportive. You are much attracted to kayak paddling. What do you like the most about this sport, and how did you get slowly stronger?
Yeah, getting stronger, it's very hard to say. I think everybody goes through a thing, maybe health, maybe wealth, or maybe other problems. yeah, you are on the train and you cannot go off. You have to keep on. You have to deal with it. You have to keep on going, and you have to surrender now and then. And of course, I have my bad moment and good moment, but most of the important thing is that you have it in your mind that you have to keep on going, that you are under control, and that's sometimes hard. But yeah, everybody has those moments, I think, and yeah, we all have to keep on going.
Well, extremely, you like to pedal on your own, so you are alone, and you also pedal for very long distances. And then it's not only 100 kilometer, what for me is already a very long distance. Then we have to mention thousands of kilometers that you pedal. Please explain why these extremely situations do attract you so much to do so much.
People and people, they are made for traveling. Eh? Nowadays everybody lives in a suburb and they don't walk 100 meters, but in the early days we all were nomads. So everybody's traveling around the world. The Vikings, name it, and people are traveling around the world. That's what I like to be in nature, but also to go over your boundary, out of your comfort zone, and see that you are capable of so much more than people think. By only sitting on the couch, you can do so many more things, and always in the mind.
Well, in 2008, you were kayaking, paddling from Groningen to Moldova, which is only 4,000 kilometers. Tell me about this unbelievable experience you had.
This was a very, very personal experience. There was a doctor in the UMCG over here, in the medical center of Groningen. He was the chef de clinique, or the head department of the maxillofacial prosthetic department and jaw surgery. And he retired and he had a project in Moldova. And I did him an offer he could not refuse. I said I will kayak all the way from Holland to Moldova to ask attention for your project, and so I did. It became all very, very close. I'm also affected with my face and with my teeth, palate, jaws. And the people in Chisinau, the poorest country in Europe, they did not have money, so they opened a treatment room. So I was also able to see that I'm not the only one with problems. But imagine you don't have money because you live in a poor country, then you suffer even more than I do. So that was a very touching project. So giving up, I would feel also the pain in Moldova. So.
Well, after this trip, you discovered walking as another very special and beautiful activity for you. Again, you are attracted to very big challenges in your life. In 2016, you walked only 3,500 kilometers from Portugal to the Netherlands. Tell me about the magic you experienced there on that trip.
Yeah, the problem with my eyes, I always have to look for another possibility. At a certain moment, I could not kayak anymore. When I was sea kayaking, I could not see the chart anymore and the maps and the compass. So then I was very down for a little while, and then I discovered another outdoor sport, walking. So then in Holland I walked a little bit for a few weeks, for 1 month, for 2 months, and then I made a decision I will walk from the south of Europe to Holland, give it a try. So in 4 months I did about 3.5 kilometers, just to see if I like it. No, it's not like kayaking, but well, I have to do something.
And what were you experiencing there? I mean, you were also walking through the Pyrenees, very high mountains, and also through France. How was it there for you to walk there?
Yeah, I was used to kayaking, so that's all on sea level. But then from day one, I started in Faro and walked. From day one, I walked up and down to the mountain till I reached almost Holland. Portugal was going up and down, Spain was going up and down all the time. Sometimes there was a plateau. For a few days I could walk normal. And then the heat also started to give in, 35 degrees day in, day out. Then I went over the Pyrenees with my walking trailer even on the summit, and then on the way back down I broke my wrist. Because the problem is with my eye, I cannot see depth anymore, so if it's 1 meter deep or 2 meter deep, I cannot see. Hell, that was a little bit problem. Still, I had to go on, and after 4.5 months, I was back in Holland. Very nice trip, but still it's not kayaking. But I slowly started to enjoy the walking. Always wild camping every night, and hard to beat being outdoors.
Yeah. Did you also experience already then problems with your equipment, like with your shoes? Did they break, or with your clothes? How did it go there?
Yeah.
On your first walk?
It's a real challenge for me as well as for my clothes. Everything breaks down because you are very intensive. So shoes they break down, clothes go tear apart. My car broke down in the Pyrenees. I fall into a ravine, and my car he did follow me 2 or 3 times. Hell, I saw him floating through the air, and yeah, that's part of the deal. Everything breaks down, but you have to try to keep your mentality high. It's all in the mind, and you have to keep on going.
So you had a car with you, and you were also camping outside all the time. And then you also discovered that you would like to even walk a longer trip. And then a year later, you started walking for 10.5 months long, without any vacation break in between. Your goal was to walk from Flensburg in Germany, starting in February in the winter time, to Denmark, Sweden and Norway, reaching the North Cap, and then walking back, but not directly back, but through Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithunia, Poland and Germany again, and back to Groningen, which is really unbelievable to say in honest words.
Yeah.
How could you trust your condition to do this?
Yeah. I think I have to say I'm a little bit neurotic. I walk from Portugal back to Holland, but it's always I want to have more, I want to have more, I want to have more. It's never enough. So then it came into my mind, I can walk up to the North Cap as well. But that was not enough, of course. So I decided I walk up to the North Cap, but I also will walk down again. I always demand a lot from myself. But I just thought I give it a go, and once I'm on the road, I will keep on going.
But you were not afraid of doing such a long trip?
I was not afraid, but I always am careful. You can have injury. I left in February, so it was very slippery. A lot of ice on the road and on the paths everywhere. You go up and down the whole day, so I slip many times, I fall down many times. It's very easy to break your ankle or to twist the knee, and that you will be in problem and that you have to stop the project, but thank God that did not happen to me.
And how did you prepare yourself for this trip? Did you follow a special training or not?
No, I never follow a real training. I'm always very, very harsh for myself in the beginning. So if people say I will walk 15 kilometers the first month, I already said I will walk for 25, 30 the first month, and then I will stop. So I always have the belief that I say I will make it very tough for myself in the beginning, then later on it will be a little bit easier. And I do that all the time, and it worked very good for me. But I follow my own path. Some people think different about it, but for me it's important. In the beginning I have to be tough for myself, and then the rest will follow.
And what was your equipment? What did you need to have on that trip always with you?
Yeah, what I needed, I have a walk-in trailer, so that means I don't have to carry a backpack anymore. So I can put all my gear on the little car. I carry a sleeping bag, of course, a tarp, a bivy bag, so I can be comfortable. It's very basic, but for me it's comfortable. So it gives me enough shelter and enough warmth to make it up to the top and go back again. But even then, the temperatures were very, very low. Up till the North Cape, it was always freezing most of the night, and at daytime also. But that's part of the deal.
Well, when you say it, it sounds so easy, but of course I can imagine it was not easy at all, even not for you.
Nay, every day has struggle. You go up and down all the time. You are cold all the time. A lot of rain, a lot of snow, a lot of wind, sometimes very, very cold. Your equipment is sometimes failing. Your gear is very wet, your clothes are wet, everything gets very, very damp. And then you have to keep on going. That's the challenge of a project like this, and a challenge for yourself. And yeah, I cannot stop, I have to go on. I want to go on.
So this is your inner engine that is always active, and you can trust that you will not fail, and that you want to go further and go all the time.
Yeah, of course you can fail, but you always push yourself to go on and on. So you always say, oh, next corner I will stop, next town I will stop. No, I have now reached the town, I will go another 10 kilometers. So you always push yourself day in, day out, and that's the only how do I have to say, that's the only possibility to come to the North Cape and go back again, because the distance is hell very long, 4,000 up, 4,000 down kilometers. So if you only do 10 kilometers a day, yeah, then you will never come home. So you have to push yourself all the time.
Okay. Well, your relationship with the cold and with cold and wet weather, somehow you feel attracted to these circumstances. You're at least not afraid of them. When we, normal humans, if I can say that, cover and stay inside most of the time when it's cold, then you go out and enjoy life like this. Can you please tell me what's happening, why you are attracted so much to the cold?
Yeah, I've been living many years in the tropics, and I can tell you the tropics is my favorite. I like it. I like the heat, I like the steamy conditions, but I also like to challenge myself. And of course, I am living in Holland, so we only have moderate temperature over here. So going up to the North Cape, it had minus 20 or more. I was also not very familiar with it, but I did not go out of the way and stop the project. No, I just wanted to see if I can make it. So that takes a little bit the determination and a little bit of a different mindset. And once you get used to it, after 1 or 2 weeks, 2 months, then you start to enjoy it. But in the beginning, everything is difficult. That cannot be prevented.
Well, this attraction to cold weather is not only that you be active outside and walk, so you have a kind of constantly body temperature which is very active then, so you will feel the heat. But you also decided to rest and sleep and live in a small tent outside, even in the cold and in the wet. So in the outside in nature, and very often in really, really cold weather. We could say, in a way, you are totally crazy. But we could also say we should learn from you, because you are leaving your comfort zone all the time. And we could learn a lot from you, because you're changing your focus and you make life possible in even very awkward life circumstances. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yeah, this trip I have a lot of pain in my eyes all the time. And this trip I said, I always look for possibility to conquer the pain or to beat the pain, so to say. So I said, when I go up to the North Cap, it will be very, very tough. The weather will be tough, everything will be tough. So maybe I can create more pain than my eyes, and then my eyes will have less pain. So that was, to be honest, a little bit my mindset. So I have to suffer a lot, and then maybe I have less pain in my eyes. So I keep on walking month, and very cold and rain. And before the North Cap, it was a lot of daylight. So I had many problems with the light, with my eyes, and I started to throw over almost every day a few times, because I had so much pain in my eyes and I wanted to stop, but I cannot, I had to go on. And I think it did help a little bit. I have less pain in my eyes. Very strange, but so maybe I was right, maybe I had to create more pain to forget the other pain.
And that helped, and that worked for you?
In my mind, it helped a little bit, and it's about me, so that all that matters.
Yeah, well, of course you are not alone with these kind of adventures. In the past we had an American writer and philosopher, Henry David Thoreau. He became very well known because he went to the forests and built a house with his hands and lived there in a very simple way, but extremely happy. Well, it's all about living in silence, living in nature, smelling the air, and becoming one with nature somehow. Can you yourself see also in this attraction?
I think that doing solitude activities like I do, walking alone for a long time is very good. You start to feel nature very close, very deep, and that's very nice. That going outdoors is going inside, I always say. So being outside, it brings a lot of benefits. Not only health, but also to see the world a little bit different and feel the element, feel the rain, feel the cold, feel the sun. That had kind of a magic spell, I think, and that you should. That is what you should let in. I think it's very important for people to do that, going outside.
Well, there is one influence and one main inspiration for you, that is another adventurer, the Dutch Wim Hof. He is also known as the Iceman. How did you met Wim Hof, and what did you get from him and his way of dealing with extreme temperatures?
I think over here in Holland we all grown up with Wim Hof, only with the nice thing he did. He did a lot of stunts, and he did do a lot of world records. So we always had a little bit contact with him. I mean, we saw him on TV and you hear him on the radio, and everybody always said, nah, he one of a kind. But then over the years, it was proved that he could influence health, like the immune system, etc., etc. And I did never pay too much attention to it. And then 3 years ago, I went a little bit deeper into it. I took an ice bath with another instructor from him, and then I did some breathing, and yeah, it was benefited me in a little, in a good way. So I keep on going and doing it, and even up till now I do it. I also swim with ice every week, and it benefits me. Was he my hero? I don't know. Nah, I did all those sports already for a long time, but it's nice to see like-minded people who conquer themselves, think outside the box, and see that you can handle so many things much more than we are thinking we are capable of. So that's very interesting. So that's very nice that he is now spreading the word around the world, and many people have benefited from it. And it's proven also by universities that he is right, that we can do so much more with the mind, cold exposure and the breathing, that we can benefit from it all.
And what is this kind of technique you also use? It's a kind of breathing technique, right? You focus on your breathing, and you stop breathing for a while, and you train that.
Yeah, the technical thing I will leave up to him. You can find it on the internet and everything. But it mostly about breathing and controlled hyperventilation. So that very nice. Yeah, you have to try it a few times. Very simple. It's very easy to apply for everybody. So give it a try.
Okay. Well, another big challenge for you was, of course, to be alone most of the time during this trip. Do you also feel in general comfortable being alone?
I walk alone, but I never feel lonely. So for me it's not a burden. I don't have problems being alone. And you always meet people along the way, in a supermarket or somewhere else. So being alone is not a problem at all. I like it.
Okay. Well, we had it already before you experienced that to go further and further and further without any stop. It's like a restless principle. Mm-hmm. You are a restless walker. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, I always want to do a new project, new challenges, but I'm also a little bit restless. And when I'm on the road, I feel very nice. I feel comfortable. I feel having peace of mind if I'm walking or if I'm outside. Being in nature is a big benefit for me.
Okay. Well, in Norway you have beautiful landscapes and the majestic fjords with roads going around them like snakes a little bit. You told me you could often smell a fjord, and the water of course, but not see because it was far. It took often days to walk on serpentine roads. How was that experience for you?
I've been through a lot of country this project, but Norway was number one. I followed the whole coastline, and I think I took about 40 ferries. But the fjord has sometimes very, very deep. So then on the other side, 100 meters away from you, you see the other side of the fjord. But then you still have to walk all around the fjord for 2 days or 3 days. So that's very, sometimes very depressing that you still have to walk for the other side for 100 meters.
Okay.
But in the end, you all forget about the hardship and you laugh about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course then it's a walk that goes always up, right, and not down. So how you deal with that if it's going constantly up?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very heavy.
yeah, it's very, very demanding from your body. And you go up sometimes 6, 7, 8%, and it's very, very tiresome. And then you go down again. It's just Norway, one big roller coaster. You go up, down, left, right. It never stops. Not for not even 1 or 2 days. You don't have how they call it, plateaus like some mountains have. It was always up and down, day in, day out, and that was very demanding. But yeah, it makes your heart very big, because they're pumping blood all the time. So that.
Yeah. And of course, you also were sleeping also in that area, of course. So you had to check where to put your tent there, where you could stay the night.
Yeah, sometimes looking for a camp spot would be very hard. Sometimes all rocks, sometimes it's not leveled, sometimes it's very wet, sometimes you are up to your ankle or your knees in the water. It's terrible, but yeah, that's part of the deal. But sometimes it's not funny, but yeah, you have to go on again. There's no way out, there's nobody, so...
Well, your daily goal was to walk from at least 30 kilometers per day to a maximum of 50 kilometers. And only in the daylight, of course. And then you had to find a place to rest and build up your tent, also in daylight. And then rest 12 hours. And then again walk 12 hours. Was that always possible?
No, I made a timetable for myself. I leave in February, and then the days were short, so not enough daylight. So I started with about 25-30 kilometers a day, and when later in the season the light would be longer, the daytime, and then I walked up to 40, sometimes 50, so that was more than enough to reach my goal.
Okay. Well, another very fearful experience for you were the tunnels, roads that goes under mountains. Of course, some are very short, some very long, and of course some are without good lights. And of course you need light to see good. How did you deal with them? And of course you couldn't ignore them. You couldn't choose for a different route. How was that?
I had fear for nothing. Of course, only for injuries, for your knee or for your ankle that you break something. But my fear was the tunnels. The tunnels are sometimes 100 meters, sometimes 1 kilometer, sometimes 5, sometimes even longer. And then I walk about 5 kilometers an hour. So if you walk into a tunnel from 2.5 kilometers, that's half an hour. Half an hour in the dungeon, you call it, very dark. And I don't see good, so it was often very scary. Then a car passes by, or even worse, a truck. So sometimes people protect me and they say, don't go into the tunnel. Sometimes they close the barrier in front and behind me. Sometimes they put on the alarm and the police would appear. So it was one big adventure, but to be honest, I really hated it. I made it, but it was very hard. Then I was having sweat in my hand. I did not like it.
Yeah. And then, after all these, you reached the North Cap, which was your first big goal, of course. How was that your experience for you?
Yeah, goal number 1 was Bergen. Goal number 2 was the North Cap, and number 3 was Helsinki, and number 4 was Holland. So the North Cap was only a point on the map that I had to pass. It haunted me for about the whole time since I left for the trip, because once you have the North Cap, you're on the way back. But it was really haunting me in my mind. So I had to fight it. I had to make kilometers. I had to keep on going. And then, if you are over there, yeah, of course, there's always the illusion because there's nothing. but in your mind you make it very big. And once you are tipping that point, yeah, you just you have the euphoria for a few days that you made it. But then after a few days, you are on the way back, and you go back into the daily rhythm. You push another, then new things appear. So it will be a highlight, and then after the highlight, you go back to normal. You have to keep on walking again.
Yeah. But how does it look at the North Cap? I've never been there.
No, it was very nice. I was very lucky. I had bright weather. And there's nothing. There's a little North Cap center where you can buy a lot of souvenirs, and you have a little statue with a globe. And for the rest, it's very barren. I walked over there the last day to work there, and it was snowing and it was very cold in June. So it was, it was hard. But it was very barren. There's nothing at all. Only big parking place, and people come by buses, and they go off by buses, and I had to walk. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you also had to stop to rest a bit more comfortable and better, and also to take a shower, of course. And then you rested in hotels for stops for 2 or 3 days, or in hostels. And how was your connection there with the people? Because that, of course, was also a moment that you could be together with other people again.
Yeah. Sometimes I walk 1 week non-stop, sometimes 3 weeks non-stop. So then I cover about 300-400 kilometers, 500 kilometers non-stop, 800 kilometers non-stop without taking a shower. Only clean my private part in a little stream or a little river. And being in the hotel, it looks like you can relax, but the first day, 2 days, I'm completely exhausted. I want to live like, how do you call it? I want to sleep only in the dark, lay down with my eyes closed because I have pain in my eyes. Then you have to wash your clothes, you have to prepare for the next traject. So it also hard work in a different way, but you can sit down, you can eat a pizza, you can meet people, you can say hello. Because I travel alone, but still you need people. We are human beings, so socializing is a big thing. So even if you're only in the supermarket and say hello, have a little talk for a few minutes, that already gives you a lot of energy to keep on going. And it's very nice to see different people from different countries, how they work, how they react, how they talk. That's very interesting, and that's also part of traveling.
Mm-hmm. You are also a member of Couchsurfing. Actually, it's how we met many years ago. Do you always trust people from your heart, and does it always going good?
Yeah, I've been a member for many years, just like you, and I never had problems with meeting people or going into the house or invite them to my house. It's a nice thrill because you never know what will happen. Sometimes you can go along very well, sometimes not, but that I like. I meet a lot of nice people everywhere, in Denmark, in Sweden, in Norway. Sweden was only a little bit problem. One time I ring the door to ask for some water, and they smash the door. And another day I ask for some water, and they throw a bottle of water through my head. They are a little bit xenophobic, I think. I've been only there 10 days walking, and those two accidents, they appear. And I never had problems all along the way with nobody, but the people from, those people that were a little bit different. But it also nice to experience. At that moment I thought, what's happening? But then later on you think, that's nice to tell at the birthday party.
Yeah, well, through your walk in Denmark, Sweden and Norway, you had to deal with extreme low temperatures that went until minus 20 degrees sometimes. And from Finland on, you worked in the summer. But there you had the big challenge to deal with summer, so with worms, and also with mosquitoes, and with endless forests. So the landscape also changed for you. How was that for you?
Yeah, I was walking in winter in Norway and all along the coast. So then you have all the elements from that area, and then I went a little bit more inland. So in Finland I went more inland. It was July already I arrived there, so it became warmer. But as you have many lakes and many waterways, it also means that the mosquitoes are producing like rabbit. So that was a little bit of a problem. And for 2 months I could not get rid of them, no matter what I tried. I was wearing a mesh anorak, and yeah, sometimes it was hard. You cannot even be normal or sit outside normal because it was terrible. And it was 2 months only forest, so they were always around. They were my biggest fan club, that's what I can tell you.
And then you also walked through these endless forests, also next to the Russian border. How was that for you? How was that experience? Just forests all the time?
Yeah, it was very nice. It was completely different from Norway. Still, Norway I find very beautiful, and Finland was a little bit more boring. But I took the side of the border from Russia because it was very quiet. So I could walk for 100, 200 kilometers without seeing somebody. And I was very surprised. Sometimes you met the people from Thailand, and they were working there to grab, to harvest the berries. I would never ever expect people from Thailand working over there. So a lot of little miracles that you see along the way or you don't know about. It's very nice.
Yeah. How did people react on you?
Yeah, most of the people, they are on a bicycle, but a lot of people never saw somebody walking up and down the North Cap. So yeah, people always like it. They like to hear my story. I like to hear their story. But they were amazed. Can you do that? Yeah, of course we can do that if you want. I was very tired in Finland. I should have had a little break in the North Cap, but I decided, I can keep on walking to Helsinki. But I started to develop, I call it seasickness. I became very dizzy, going up and down all the time. And I often were, a little bit groggy, dizzy, I don't know. I went to the hospital in Helsinki, but everything was okay. He said, yeah, maybe you're a little bit overexhausted. Hell, I spent 1 week in Helsinki. Yeah.
Yeah. And coming back to the forests along the Russian border, there you also met people. How did they react on you? And how did you communicate?
Yeah, Finland was a little bit more difficult to communicate. Not everybody speaks English. They have a very difficult language. Finnish, very unknown to the world, but very interesting. I only met a few people from the border police. They speak a little bit of English, and they stop me every few days, so it was interesting. It gives a little bit of break. But for the rest, people from Finland are all very nice. The houses all look the same, I can remember. And if you are walking one day in Finland, you see everything. Maybe that's my opinion. But still, it was very, it was a little bit relief compared to Norway. Different, a different environment, a little bit warmer. So I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were connected with the rest of the world and your family and friends in Holland through a GPS system.
Mm-hmm.
And also your family sent you at a regular time always new clothes, new shoes and other things you needed for your equipment to replace something, to repair something. How did you go? How did you manage that to have that contact regular? And did you also have a note button, something like that?
Yeah, I have a GPS. It's called a spot. So every night I set up camp, I push a button OK, and the people at home can see I'm OK. There's also an emergency button on that device. So if ever I break my leg or are in problem, I can touch the 112 button, and then the rescue will come and look for me. I have it with me for over 10 years, 11 years. I never used it. Never had an emergency, so that's okay. For the rest, I communicate with my telephone, of course. Those days you have internet on your phone, and I make little updates. So the people could follow me, and yeah, they all liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they also were sending you materials. How did you organize that? Because they always had to send it to different places.
Yeah, that was a little bit difficult. Norway was out of the EU, so sometimes they keep it under customs because they have to see if there was drugs inside. And for me it was very hard because I want to keep on walking, and if I have to wait 1 or 2 days longer for a parcel, yeah, for me that's already 80 kilometers, so then it's very annoying. But I was very lucky. Sometimes I only had the last day coming in, so I did not have to wait. But they sent me shoes. I had my tarp was broken. Part of my bivy bed where I am sleeping in was broken, so they had to replace material. But it went all very good in the end. At that moment I'm very annoyed about it if it's not in, but I was very lucky the last few hours I could pick it up from a post office or from another parcel shop. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's all very impressive to hear that. In a general, I can say this is part of your therapy to how to deal with this EEC syndrome, with this awkward situation you have to deal with. So parts of your therapy are being outside in nature, changing the focus away from suffering towards beauty and happiness, at least what makes you feel happy. And even you are stubborn and you want to get something from it, you need something from it, you want recognition. How did that go, and how was it to be done? That it's never enough, that you always want to go further. Is it something like an inside natural law for you, because it makes you unbeatable and unstoppable? You are becoming a Superman.
Yeah, I did many years karate, and they always said if you practice long enough you will be a master, but that is not an issue with me. I think I have a little bit more minority complex, that I always want to do more and more and more and more, and maybe I want to show the world I can do it. On the other side, I always, my inner fire inside is always burning. I want to challenge myself, so it's a little bit double. On one side I want to challenge myself, on the other side it's also a little bit because out of my maybe I want to be seen by the world or whatever. It's a little bit minority problem, I think. I know myself good enough that I have a big part. But like I said, I want to push myself, because if I don't do this, then I have not how much any more left, because that's the only thing I like to do. Challenge myself outdoors and have some pain.
No pain, no gain, right?
No pain, no gain.
Yeah. Well, during the walking process, you focus to come first into a kind of a rhythm. I imagine when you are in the rhythm, you can just go on and on and on for a long time at least. But what's happening then when you are walking, when you are in the rhythm? What are you doing? Where are you busy with? Are you singing? Are you laughing? Maybe crying? And are you enjoying then the landscapes, the birds, the animals around? Can you describe that a little bit?
Yeah, every project is new, so I always have to get into the mood again. My belly hit my way, my muscles hurt, but after a few weeks, 1-2 months, you get in the mood, and then you can start to daydream now and then. Sometimes I walk over a road, there's nobody there, and you can dream away with your thought. You can create a whole new world. It's all in the mind. It's very special. It had pleasure. Maybe some people call it local or crazy, but you have a lot of time to think, and a lot of problems we have, you all the time go in circles, but when you are walking or doing other things that you come into a certain trance, yeah, you start acting different, maybe feel different, seeing things different. So that's kind of a therapy, but it's also very nice. It's a kind of a drug. It's addictive if you walk for a long time or if you pedal for a long time. And that, nobody can take that away from me. That's very hard to explain, but if you do it, it's a kind of herbery, it's a drug, natural drug. Very nice.
But this is why you enjoy it so much.
Yeah, I'm an addict. I need help.
Yeah. Well, of course, through this syndrome, you had many operations and you're affected in a very different way. So your body changes, your face changed, your eyes are changing. How do you experience beauty? What is beauty for you?
Yeah, if I look at myself, maybe you come back to my minority complex. Beauty for me, being healthy and a perfect body, yeah. So maybe that's why I like to look at a beautiful woman. But maybe it's something I cannot have. But on the other side, beauty is also a woman. A woman, he can make you bigger. If you bring a woman food, she will make a meal for you. Or if you give a woman your heart, she will let you shine, That's also beauty. There are many forms of beauty. Also beauty if you are somewhere camping and there's nobody around and you only hear the bird and you have a little campfire. And then you see you don't need much to be very, very, very happy. That's also beauty. So I think beauty is a kind of how you look at things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're also more attracted to beauty in others. So what you miss in yourself or that you find in others, and you experience beauty in that.
Yeah, I think also a little bit, maybe to lift myself a little bit up. And maybe you can discuss about it right or wrong, but for me, a good feeling.
Yeah. Can you tell me if I would be in the same situation like you or others would be, and what could you tell them? What is your advice to deal with these situations that you cannot cure, but still you have a life? So of course suicide maybe is an idea, but of course we want to live, right? So what is your advice to go further? How could you teach people? What could you give? What could you say?
Yeah, that's a very big question. I always been a very big fan of euthanasia. I've been reading a lot about it, I've been talking about a lot about it. It's very intense. I always said, if my eye are not working anymore, I don't want to go on. That's a very open answer. I discussed it many years with people. Nowadays I don't do that anymore because a lot of people, they react wrong or different on it, or they don't understand. What can I say to other people? I find it very hard. I'm also not a good model for for curing problems. I think you just have to open yourself, always try new things. If you have pain or whatever, in whatever your situation you are, you have to keep on trying and maybe find a solution. And if there's no solution, then life can be very hard, very harsh. I tried so many things, but my eyes are still a problem. So deal with it. But that's not very easy. I had a little bit of a struggle, and it will stay. And it goes up and down. Sometimes I feel very good, sometimes very bad. And like you said, sometimes you're on the road, you're singing, and sometimes you're a little bit sad. But I think everybody has it. So I think the road has many bumps. If you're healthy or not, then something else will appear. So there's always something. That, keep on walking. Only one remedy, keep on walking, I always say. And it helps for me, even if I'm running away, but if I feel comfortable with it now, so what?
Yeah. Well, you returned after 10.5 months to Groningen in the Netherlands. Then you rested, you also got sick again, but in general you were ready to plan a next trip, and that will happen very soon. What are your plans to do next?
Yeah, I came back from the Noordkaap project, and then I became sick. I had a bacteria in my hip, so it took me the whole year to recover, and I cannot really walk that good anymore, but still I give it a try. My next trip will be in the east of Europe, and I'm going to walk around in Ukraine, Moldova, and Romania a little bit for a period of 4, 5, 6 months to see how it goes. And this time I bring a little bit better weather than on the Noordkaap, I hope.
And what else are you doing in private? What interests you more in life?
Yeah, being outdoors is a big thing for me. For the rest, I don't do so much. I'm always thinking about my head. I always think in my head what will be my next project. What can I do? My favorite book. I don't read anymore because I cannot read anymore with my eyes so very good. But I always have a look at the map. And another important thing, if you go to another country, you can try different food. So I picked up a lot of recipes from all around the world where I have been, and I cook them at home. That's very nice because it gives you a little bit a good feeling. You can remember the time when you have been there, and you can share it with your friends, your family, and that's very nice.
Thank you very much for this very interesting and inspiring talk with you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was very different for you as well, I think. I don't play piano, I don't sing, but...
well, you are singing, you told me.
Very beautiful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. And good luck with your next trip and with everything.
Thank you very much. I'll keep you informed.